Hey everybody, welcome back to that vinyl channel. I'm that vinyl guy Boz. In this episode, I'm going to be counting down and showing you my top 10 STYX singles based on the vinyl singles that they released. All the way from, start with number 10 and go all the way to number 1. So I have that coming up, so stick around and don't touch that dial. Alright, and we're back. So let's go ahead and get started on my top 10 STYX singles. So this here is number 10. This here is Unfinished Song, which is off of STYX's fourth studio album, Made of Miracles. Now this is a very interesting, I'm going to take it out and show it to you. So just so you can see it. This is a very interesting single because it was cut from the album Made of Miracles. They actually ended up putting Lies. Now this was the second side of the first song, and this was supposed to be there, but instead they ended up putting Lies, which was a cover song there instead. And then later on they actually replaced that song with Best Thing. So it was like they couldn't really decide what song to put the first song on the second side. I think of those three songs, this song is the best song. You know what? It's a ballad. And I know there's a lot of trepidation out there. A lot of times you hear about rock bands not wanting to put ballads on their albums for some reason. I know Journey had issues with like Faithfully not wanting to put that on one of their albums. But you know what though? There's nothing wrong with ballads. It's a rock ballad. It's still a rock song. Ballads are great. Ballads are fine. I definitely like those hard-hitting rock songs as well. But I also like ballads. I know a lot of other people do. It's a very good song. It's by Dennis DeYoung. If you're not familiar with it, I recommend you check it out. Okay, and the next one here I'm going to show you is off of their 1979 release, Pieces of 8. This was the second single off the album. It got all the way to number 41 on the charts, and it's very interesting too. Okay, because this record here, okay, if you take a look at not sure if you can see it here, but if you take a look at the catalog number on this record, it's 2110. Okay, so that's the catalog number on this particular release. From what I understand, from what I heard, either STYX or the label, or maybe both, wasn't happy with how this performed on the charts. And there was another song that was actually making a lot of headway on the radio stations in the Southwest. And that was this song here, which is Renegade. So it hadn't been released as a single yet. A&M almost like decided to release this as the third single, and for some reason they gave this single the same catalog number, 2110. And what they did was, as you can see here, that's the A side. And if you take a look at the B side, they decided to go ahead and put Sing for the Day on the B. Sorry about that. They decided to go ahead and put Sing for the Day on the B side. Now the regular single, Sing for the Day, if you take a look at the B side on that, this has Queen of Spades. But anyway, it's a pretty interesting piece of trivia that both of these 45s have the same exact catalog number, 2110. Okay, and moving on to number 8 here, we have the single Fooling Yourself. This is off of the 1977 Green Delusion album. I really like this song a lot. It's a Tommy Shaw song. He did a really good job on this. It was the second single off this album, and it peaked at 29 on the Billboard Top 100. So there you go, Fooling Yourself. Okay, so moving on to number 7, we have Blue Collar Man, which is off of the 1978 album Pieces of 8. It reached number 21 on the Billboard Top 100. It is another Tommy Shaw song. It's an amazing song. This here is actually a Japanese single. I'll go ahead and show you what the 45 looks like. Very cool. I keep getting in the way of the camera, don't I? But I want you to see the record, so no problem here. And there we go. And this here is the backside. Superstars is actually the backside of the record. So moving in at number 6 on my list, we have Too Much Time on My Hands. This is another Tommy Shaw song, another great song. This is off of the STYX's 10th studio album, Paradise Theater. It was the second single off the album. It rose all the way up to number 9 on the charts. This is actually a single from the Netherlands, which is very cool. I'll go ahead and show you what the label looks like, but it's very cool. There you go, and it has Queen. This one has Queen of Spades again on the flip, and I do have the test pressing of this as well. This is a test pressing. Too much time on my hands. Okay, so now we're moving on to number 5 on my list, which is Renegade. I showed this earlier when I was showing Sing for the Day, but I do like this song better than Sing for the Day. It comes at number 5. This is the 3rd single off of the Pieces of 8 album. It reached number 16 on the Billboard Top 100 chart. This here is a UK pressing, so it's pretty cool. It comes in this red. They released it in this red vinyl release here, which is very cool. And of course, it has, like I mentioned earlier, it has Sing for the Day on the flip. So Tommy Shaw did a really good job on this, and I really like this song a lot. All right, now we're going to number 4 on my list, and that is Mr. Roboto. So I really like this song a lot. I know that it's a controversial song by a lot of STYX fans. Some of them blame this album for the breakup of the band, which I don't really think that's the case. Personally, I think there's a lot more going on, a lot more problems than just the one album. I think it was the first single off the album. This album is the album is from Kilroy Was Here, that was released in 1983. This 45 reached number 3 on the top 100 charts. This is another 45 from the Netherlands. Once again, I'll go ahead and show you what the vinyl looks like, what the label looks like. And it has Snowblind on the back, which is off of the previous album, Paradise Theater. So I noticed that a lot on several STYX 45s. Usually, most 45s, when you get them, especially at the time that they are released, they usually have 2 tracks off the same album. But a lot of STYX 45s, for some reason, it has like the track off of the album, and then it takes a track off the previous album. And I've seen this on several STYX 45s, so I'm not really sure if that was a conscious effort or exactly, why that decision was made. But anyways, that's something that I noticed that STYX did quite often. But I really like Mr. Roboto a lot. It's a great song. I know that's one of Dennis's favorite songs. So, but yeah, this year comes at number 4 on my list. And I do have a test pressing of this song as well. This is the test pressing of Mr. Roboto. All right, so now we're getting down to the last 3 on my list. So number 3 is Come Sail Away. This is off of their 1977 album, The Green Delusion. So this is one of their most iconic songs, I believe. I think it's even more iconic than the previous one I showed you, Mr. Roboto. This single peaked at number 8 on the Billboard Top 100. It's an awesome song. This is the 45 single version, which they butchered. So yeah, they cut the song down to 3 minutes and 10 seconds. I think the song normally is over 5 minutes long, right? It's about a 5-minute and something song, but they butchered it for the single. I definitely recommend you hear the full version. I personally don't even care for the version on this 45, but either way, it's a great song. I remember back when I was in either the 5th grade or the 6th grade, my parents would have the top 40 station on the radio quite often, and we were driving somewhere, and I remember this song coming on the radio. It was the first time I ever heard it, and I thought it was just the greatest thing. So I really like this song a lot, and it comes at number 3 on my list. And I do have a Canadian promo version of this as well. Not sure if you can read that, but actually this one actually states it very clear up here. It says edited version. So if you're curious whether it is or not, it's a mono and a stereo promo. It's very cool though. Again, it's a Canadian promo of the song Come Sail Away. Okay, so now we're down to number 2. This here is Love is the Ritual off of the 1990 album Edge of the Century. It was written and performed by Glenn Burtnick. I really like this song a lot. I remember it was the first song that I heard off this album. When I very first purchased it, I purchased it as a single. So, and then I bought it as an album on the cassette because I couldn't find it on vinyl. It took me over a decade, 10 years later, to finally find a copy on vinyl. And then I eventually found some of the singles as well on 45s like this one here. Go ahead and take it out and let you see the actual 45. But yeah, this is an amazing song. It has such a great beat. It's almost like a tribal beat. It's got this awesome beat going on, and the words are awesome. And I really like this song a lot. This song is so good, and it's definitely up there on my list for STYX singles. But yeah, this is number 2 on my list. Love is the Ritual. And I also have have a Mexican pressing of this song, Love is the Ritual. This is a Mexican promo, so let's go and take a look and see what that looks like. Alright, so now we're down to the number 1 song. So my favorite STYX song of all time is Borrowed Time. This is the 3rd single off the album. But for some reason, it only made it to number 64 on the charts. I don't understand that, because it is, in my opinion, the best single that STYX ever released. Now, of course, all this is based on vinyl singles, so they've actually had other albums out past. I think the last vinyl single they put out was off of Edge of the Century. There's another single that I like as well by STYX, which is number 1. Which I think is off of which I think is a studio track off of one of their live albums, right? But yeah, I'm pretty sure. But I really like that song a lot. But this here is my favorite STYX song for all the STYX singles. On the B side is Eddie, which is also off of the same album. So I guess they got away from putting singles from previous albums on there. But yeah, I mean, I remember listening to this, and I was actually in junior high school when this came out, and I had the 45. I remember I come home from school almost every day back then, and the first thing that I would play, I pulled this out and I played on the record player, and I jam out. I mean, this song was just so great, and I have lots of great memories too of the song and hearing it, and it is so good, and it is my favorite STYX single, Borrowed Time. And real quick, I do have this one here, which is very interesting. This is actually a Japanese release, but this one has Boat on the River on the A side, which is also a great single by STYX, but it has Borrowed Time on the B side. I think this is one of the only releases in my collection I have where Borrowed Time ended up on the B side of a single. So very interesting. And I do want to go ahead and throw in a bonus to talk about this real fast. So I do have this. I found this at a record store somewhere, and this here is a single, Show Me the Way. So this here is off the 1990 album, Edge of the Century. This here is on the Teal label. If you're not familiar with this record, this is a South African label. So this 45 is from South Africa, which is very cool. This is a very good song. I know Dennis sings it quite often at his concerts. Many times he sings it to his wife, so it's a very good song. Also, this song ended up being like a war theme for the Gulf War. I was actually in the military during the Gulf War. I'm a Gulf War vet. But this ended up being some guy on a radio station ended up putting some stuff about the war in the background and making this like a war theme. I remember that, and I actually have a CD of that. It's called the WAVA Desert Shield Mix, but I'm not sure. Yeah, it's just, and show you what the CD looks like. That's what they sent me anyways. But yeah, it was still very cool to have, and there you go. All right, that's it. I do want to thank you for joining me today. Hope you enjoyed the video. That's my top 10 favorite singles from STYX. If you have not subscribed to my channel, now is a great time to do so. Go ahead and don't forget to tap on that subscribe button and be sure and bash on that bell for notifications, and that way you know when I put up new videos, just like this one here. But I do want to thank everybody once again for joining me, and I'll see y'all next time.